Joining us this morning here on the Dan and Dude Show at Fort Wayne's K105, child psychologist Dr. Julius Locatta from TeenCentral.net. Of course, we're addressing the situation of the murder of Aliana Lemon as Fort Wayne Community School kids get back to school this morning. Doctor, if you could fill in the blanks as far as what we need to tell our kids, what is too much, what's too little, please fill in the blanks.
I think what you have to do, first of all, is you don't want to make it something that it's not. You don't want to dumb it down to a point where you lose a learning opportunity here. It's a terrible tragedy, but it also helps to let children know that they should be aware of different things that are going on. If someone's treating them wrongly, if someone's threatening them, if they feel threatened, they should use this as a learning opportunity. So parents should tell their children that these kind of things do happen. They should not try to make their children feel afraid either. You don't want your child to be afraid of everybody that walks near them. But in the same respect, you don't want them to be open to everybody and just like an open door and just give out information. And this is an unfortunate case in which it was a babysitter, and so the child probably trusted this person.
Right.
But we have to let our children know that if they're acting in a weird way, if they're acting in a way that makes them feel uncomfortable, they don't have to stay for that. They should get out and maybe go to a neighbor or talk to someone else. Because very often our children feel like because our parents have entrusted us to this person's care, that they have to do or accept whatever this person does. And if this person is acting in a way that seems unhealthy, or in a way they're asking them to do things that don't seem right, they should feel free to leave the house and go next door to a neighbor or somebody they trust to get the help that they need. They should know they have options.
Dr. Julius Locatta is our special guest here this morning from TeenCentral.net addressing the Aliana Lemon situation. Now, Doctor, as far as our own kids, what do we say to them? What information? Obviously, this is a very graphic story.
I think giving the graphic details is much too much. I think that our children don't need to be exposed to that aspect of it. They do need to know that there was someone who had some very severe problems, and unfortunately they took this child's life, and that we need to be aware that these things happen in the world, and so that the children are aware to protect themselves. But telling them exactly what happened or giving them too many details, that can be a little much for a child to handle.
Okay, now as far as we're not telling them, what if they hear that from a classmate? They know the details of what happened. They hear it from a classmate, then they come back to talk to you about it. What is your recommendation there?
At that point, you need to be honest with them. I don't believe in lying to your children in areas where they have the information, because that's a matter of trust. And I think that you can simply say, the details are not important. You shouldn't worry about the details. We don't expound on them. They're going to hear these dramatized parts, and that's what they're going to focus on. And we need to get their mind off that to the point that this was a tragedy. You shouldn't be trusting everybody. You have to know what your options are. Use it as a very strong teaching moment for your child.
And Doctor, and she was 9 years old. Now, is there a difference on how you approach your child if they're 9 talking about this as opposed to, say, they're 13 or 14 talking to them about it?
13 and 14, they've probably already heard all the details. They're probably much more aware of it, and you can be a little bit more direct with a 13 or 14-year-old. But with a younger child, I think what you want to center on is the fact that this child lost their life, and there are options for you that you need to take if you were ever in a similar situation.
Well, Dr. Locatta, thank you very much for sparing some time this morning and talking about this terrible tragedy here in town. We appreciate it very much.
My condolences to everybody. You take care.